Encounter Church. We want to share a little bit about who we are here in Thailand. Encounter Church is the name. The church is a little bit different to many other churches in as much as we have a really strong focus on social justice. And the social justice part of our church is called Mercy Pattaya. Mercy Pattaya. The work of Mercy Pattaya started in year 2000 and is registered under a foundation here in Thailand called Haven Projects. The reason we're under a foundation is because of credibility. We have to have our books audited every year, and we have a board of management that oversees the finances so that everything is done with integrity. What Mercy does is reaches out to the people of Pattaya that have great need, to the least, the lost and the last, to the hurting people, to the ones who are at risk. So we have slum ministries and scholarship program where hundreds of children are sponsored to go to school. We also have our children's home called Mercy Pattaya Children's Home. There are 33 children currently living at the home. And the story we want to tell you today about is one little girl called Dow. Dow came to us a little bit over 2 years ago from a very traumatic... This is Dow coming home from school. She comes home to the Mercy Children's Home every afternoon with all of the other children, and there are now 34 children living at the home. Dow would appear to be a normal little girl to most, but when you get to find out her medical history, you realise that Dow enjoys doing her homework, and we've seen her helping even the other children with the things at hand, and she's very neat. I've been there and watched her doing her homework and the writing of Thai words and all of those things, and the English language, and she's socialising with other children in the home and happily follows the rules of the children's home, and she's very helpful to the staff and to the other children in their past. But what happened with Dow was that she's a sweet little girl, and she's now 12 years of age, but she's always been a little bit slow in the games and the playing with other children. She's very helpful. She goes to school, she helps the other children with their homework, and she's a real caring young girl. But what happened was she had a cold which was lingering, so we took her to the hospital. And at that time, the hospital did a lot of tests, and they diagnosed her with a 3-centimetre hole in the heart. And if you know what 3 centimetres is, it's around about 30 millimetres, or around about that size hole in her heart. It's hard to understand how that could be, but obviously it's between the two ventricles of the heart. And the hospital have now booked her in for surgery to have the hole in the heart repaired. And thankfully, the surgery is free. So what we need is help in the aftercare for her. She'll be 1 month in hospital after the surgery, where we need to have a staff member there to care for her, because in Thailand, often there's not enough staff in the hospitals to give intensive care to each patient. So we'll be paying a nurse to be with Dow 24 hours a day in hospital. While she's there, we also need to put air conditioning in the first aid room at the Mercy Children's Home, so that when she comes out of hospital, she'll be able to rest in a room where at least the humidity is taken out of the air. We also need to employ 2 nurses to take round-the-clock turns in caring for Dow for at least 3 months after she comes out of hospital, so she won't be able to mix it with all of the other children in the children's home. She'll need specialised care and special meals. So we're looking for help in that, and we have some costings. We know basically what it's going to cost us to care for little Dow and to give her the medical help that she needs. We know that we're going to need 32,000 baht for her hospital carers and for the needs that she will have in hospital. That's around about 1,450 US dollars. We also have a need for approximately 3,000 US dollars for the nursing care when she's at home, and for the food that she's going to need, the nourishment and everything to give her the special care she needs when she comes out of hospital. And we also need about 20,000 baht, which is about $850 US, for an air conditioner for the first aid room at the children's home. So the children's home at this stage doesn't have any air-conditioned rooms, but this would really help with Dow's recovery. So we're confident that this will give her a great start for the rest of her life. And I'm thanking God that we were able to discover this before she had a major trauma, because with this problem she could have passed away at any time just with stress to her heart.